2.5 billion. NFL have come out and backed Jay-Z up. And it seems that Jay-Z's in a much bigger club than Diddy was in. And that the club, it appears to me, have rallied around Jay-Z. They're trying to destroy Busby, the lawyer. They're trying to destroy Jane Doe, who's made this allegation. How do you think that will play out? Will the club be able to protect Jay-Z, or is this process that's underway going to continue and maybe even more allegations will come out?
It's a good question, because we know, like we're saying, there are people that are above the level of the stars that are usually untouchable. So you kind of have these handler figures in the background. You go all the way back to Elvis, and, Colonel Tom was his handler in the background, kind of, stealing from him, ripping him off, all this kind of stuff. The artists are always subservient to these handler figures, usually some kind of music mogul. Like I said, Jacko was always calling out Tommy Mottola and other characters. Prince, remember Prince had the same situation where Prince changed his name so that he could have control of some of the catalog, and then it wouldn't be controlled by the record companies. So, a lot of these figures are always in the background, kind of unknown. We know about Clive Davis in the case of Diddy. Jay-Z, though, I think you're right. There's something unique about his situation where he seems to have graduated above the artist arena into kind of the higher sphere. And he may be untouchable. I don't know. I know that one sign we always see when it's a lot of these characters is that the ones that reach that higher level, they usually signify their status by a lot of the symbolism that they use. And of course, Jay-Z was one of the first artists, if you go back in the early 2000s, around the time of a lot of this controversy, he was signifying his allegiance to Aleister Crowley, the famous Satanist of the last century. Openly, he first wore, of any artist I'm aware of in this, at least in the rap sphere, was openly wearing a lot of Crowleyan gear, Crowleyan swag. When he was doing this symbol, a lot of people don't know that's actually a symbol that comes out of the rituals of the Golden Dawn. So it's the triangle of manifestation. And so, Jay-Z was always doing this for Hova and Rockefeller Records and all that. That was kind of his symbol, but it actually comes out of the rituals of the Golden Dawn and the Crowley Circle. So I think what I'm getting at is that if there's a symbolism sign that we could see about the untouchables, usually it involves being part of some kind of secret society network like we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just looking at some of these pictures now and the symbolism there. But talking about symbolism then, Beyonce, what are your thoughts on Beyonce and her, relationship with Jay-Z, partners in crime, etc., allegedly? What do you think?
With a lot of these pop girls that come out of it's like they have this early period where they're very innocent. We saw that with Britney Spears. We saw that with Katy Perry. Katy Perry used to be a, quote, Christian musical artist. So you had this radical transformation. We saw it with Miley Cyrus. Ironically, Miley Cyrus even had a TV show where she had like a double life in, Hannah Montana. So that might be telling us something. But a lot of the Disney stars came out of that genre of having a very innocent upbringing. And then they suddenly turn into like total whores, basically, in the public sphere. I think there's a reason for that. I think that the handlers, the people in the background, kind of, in a way, pimp out their stars. They make them go through these humiliation rituals. We've talked about that in the past, but I would say the same thing is there with Beyonce. What we see with Beyonce is, she has an upbringing as a really very quiet church girl. She wasn't that, interested in seeking the limelight. She liked to dance, we're told, in her background. But at some point along the way, when she got involved with Destiny's Child and then met Jay-Z and these people, there seems to have been a radical change in what happened to her. She became a different person. In fact, she describes herself, and again, I don't know how much of this is artistic license or just, musicians and artists trying to reinvent themselves, but she had that period, if you remember, where she wasn't Beyonce anymore. She was Sasha Fierce, which she claimed was an alternate personality that had taken over her. Again, I don't know how real or just made up that is for marketing, but it could be the case that, maybe there's a kind of a pimp handler relationship going on here. When she meets these people, her life drastically changes. But I think that it's, the allegory that we hear about the selling your soul to the devil, I think it really relates more so to like these situations where if you want to get into these higher ranks, if you want to be in the $100 million, $1 billion category, a lot of times you've got to be willing to make your bones, so to speak. And that could be literal as well. A lot of people in these circles, as you know, we're dealing with billions of dollars here. We're dealing with lots and lots of money, fame, attention, a lot of deals. People end up dead around a lot of these people. And I don't think that that's accidental. It's not just organized crime. I think there's also elements of blackmail. So people need to be blackmailed before they can go up into the higher ranks to make sure that you're not going to rat on anybody. Because if you do, you go down too.